Well, hello everybody. We are starting this week on a Winnebago Journey, and as you can tell, the driveway is full. We got all 43 feet of this thing in here, and we are hard at work on it. That's right, it's got me, Sean, and JD. We are hard at work on here. We're going to be putting somewhere between 8 and 9 panels up on top of the roof there. Maybe 12, we'll see. Got our scaffold going here. We are already hard at work emptying out the bays. We already took out the Magnesign inverter. Here, check this out. We're kind of exploring. This is where the batteries are in this coach. JD disconnected the negatives to keep everything safe while we were working over here, because there's a shut-off switch we had to pull out before we pulled out the inverter. It was a little tricky getting stuff done in here, but mostly JD and I helped a little bit. And yeah, we got 2 server rack batteries that are going in here. The EG4, right?
Yep, EG4, 24.
24 volt system again. Yeah, we got to figure out how to make it all fit. I think this is the compartment we're going to use, because this is pretty hard to use for anything else. All right, all the power's out, and we are putting a display in this panel here. Figured I'd show you it when it's at its worst and what we're doing. So there's this channel here. Looks like we got some stuff going up to the ceiling. That's nice. Looks like we got a vent here. We might tap into that later. And all the way down there, that goes all the way down to the storage bay areas, which makes it very convenient to run some HDMIs and USBs, huh? Now, what we're doing in here on this panel, this is what normally goes up here. We're putting the display here, but it's a little tricky. We're running out of room here. So down there, in that hole, used to be the old Magnesign inverter controller. And then up here, you can see that, well, geez, Solar, you cut kind of a weird looking hole. Well, the reason for that, they had a switch here for controlling the engine heater, of course. I need to add one of those to my bus. So then what we will do is we'll cut a hole down there to fit it. So we just moved it from there to there. That's what the customer wanted, so that's what we're gonna do. All right, we got that all buttoned up, squared away, and even the engine preheat on. How nice is that? Well, good morning, everybody. At least it is here. It's not even 6 a.m. yet, but it has been getting so hot here in the Midwest. We are getting to work bright and early because it's in the 60s at the moment, but it's not the heat, it's the humidity. And if you know, then you know. We got a couple of guests coming over. Well, not guests. For sure one guest coming over today. We got Bruce, the RV medic. He's coming to work on some air conditioners on this RV. And JD, of course, is coming back over to keep working on his end of the project. But I figured I would update you on everything that we're doing and what we know so far and how we're going to wrap things up. Trying to remember how much we actually shared before or not and how far we got. But in short, we pulled out the old inverter in there. Yeah, got that out. We got the old AC in and out there, which I think we're going to have to just loop. Or just connect them together, put it in a box. In the end, this compartment is going to be completely empty. We've been doing some thinking, and because we just don't feel like we can put all the equipment in there and keep it maintainable. And by that we mean if you got to swap a part out, if you got to diagnose something, if you got to look at something, you're going to be crawling in there. It's going to be a pain in the butt. So what we decided is we're going to put everything in this compartment. And we've been hard at work test fitting, making sure everything is going to fit and what we're going to do. So that's where pretty much everything is going to go, is in this back compartment. As you can see there, we got another EG4 24 volt battery. If I didn't mention already, this is a 24 volt system. So yeah, everything's coming in here. including the batteries and all the equipment. We're gonna put the batteries on this side. We got 2 of those EG4 batteries, and all the Victron equipment is gonna go here, believe it or not. And I've been working on a, you guessed it, a 2020 aluminum server rack. One rack's gonna go there and we'll secure it, and the other one will go on the other side of the battery and we'll secure it. And it's gonna have room for 1 more battery to expand it to 3. But the thing that I've been working on lately is, or this morning, is I'm wrapping the AC input and output lines in some conduit here, because we gotta get, let's turn on that light. We gotta get from in here all the way on the other side of the coach to where the automatic transfer switch is. Oh, and that's been real fun. So that's what I'm doing. I know everything looks here like a mess, but you got to break a couple eggs to make an omelet, I guess. It just ends up looking like a mess. Now that we got that sorted out, I think let's go take a look at the work that JD's been doing here in the shop. This is the board. It's been coming together. It's tight, but we feel this is going to be maintainable, like we said. The shutoff switch is going to be accessible. The links is going to be accessible. Everything's going to get decent ventilation. We're not laying it on its back, but we are pre-assembling like this, and you can see it's going to be turning a corner. And I think we feel like we're going to actually be able to put it in there in this configuration, which should be interesting. Let's give a little tool update here. This is a USB-C, believe it or not, battery-powered glue gun. And I'm sure, you know, maybe you're thinking this is more for a crafty channel, but tell you what, if you don't want your VE connectors coming out, put a little dab of hot glue on them. And that's what we've been doing. So that's what we're going to do here. Making sure we get a little bit of hot glue there. And then we put it both on the serbo as well. I've already done one. I'm just doing the 150 by 70 for JD there. Hopefully he's not upset. I'm playing in his playground. Letting him mostly run this one today. So like we mentioned, this is a 24-volt system, and let's go through some of the components and what they're doing, because some of them are a little bit different if you're used to a 12-volt system. Obviously, you got our 24-volt multi-plus. Got the blue solar, and we went with the blue solar in part because it's actually when you're using a serbo like we are, it saves you a little bit of money. And we like to try and save money where we can. We find our customers appreciate that. And you don't really lose anything. If you'd prefer a smart solar, that's fine. You can always specify that. But it'll communicate with the serbo over VE Direct. But we're using the Blue Solar 150 by 70 charger. And because this is a 24-volt system, it's actually, it'll put out twice the power that a 12-volt system would do. So this can support... we've been able to do actually like 2,400 watts into this without a problem. It doesn't actually produce 2,400 watts because solar panels are not 100% efficient. It uses the full capacity of this charger, and that's the goal. So some different components that are in here. We got the Orion step down converter that takes 24 volts in and spits out 12 volts at 70 amps. So that's important to run all your standard 12-volt systems and lights and all that. That really helps with that. Then the other thing here is the Orion 12 to 24 step up converter, and that's going to take the alternator charging and help charge this battery bank. Now what you might be thinking, well, a rig this big with these giant slide outs, like it's got a slide out here that it's almost half of the rig. Is that little step down converter going to be able to run that? No, probably not. The way these work is they want you to have the chassis engine on, and then you operate the slides. So it's almost running off of the coach system itself anyway. So I don't think that's going to be a problem. We may leave some of the chassis, or not the chassis, the house batteries intact because they're separate systems. That's even more so not a problem. And that way it'll have a little bit extra amps on demand to maybe operate different things. So that's where we're at. We've got 9 panels we're going to be putting up on top, and I'm hoping to maybe get a lot of that done today. But I can't do too much of that because Bruce, the RV medic, is going to be up there working on the air conditioners, putting in some soft starts. So it's going to be a great day today. The RV medic is here, and he's performing some maintenance, looks like.
How you doing?
This particular customer looks like he's getting service on all the air conditioners. And then what do we have here? We had a broken squirrel cage.
Yep, squirrel cage is lost a couple spins right in a row there, causing it to sound like it's falling apart inside the unit while it's running. So we'll switch that out for him today too, and finish cleaning up. They're pretty stuffed with cottonwood.
Yeah,
Cotton, so
definitely happens around here.
yeah, we have that's just one little chunk. So yeah, it's back ones haven't been cleaned yet, and there you can see the filth on them, how bad they actually get.
All right. Well, it's great to have you out here.
Thank you.
And I forget, do you got a website, or how do people get a hold of you if they need to?
Through the NRVTA.
Okay.
Or the RVTAA, excuse me.
Okay.
And then, so there's a locator map system that they have. So wherever you're at, they can find you a tech in that area.
All right.
I'm located in Hastings, Minnesota, and eventually I'll be moving, traveling around the country in my own RV. So.
All right, you might be able to find him on the road. Oh, the air compressor came on. That's our signal to get back to work, I guess. All right, we got our board taken apart, and we're going to get it into the shop, or into the bay.
Into the rig, yeah.
And speaking of, JD's finally showed up.
I know. That's way past 5 a.m.
Yeah, Bruce and I, we've been here for a while, but that's all right. All right, we're going to get this put into the bay, and then we'll show you how it all looks, hopefully.
Is that still? Oh, yeah, still plenty of, oh, that's that.
What?
Oh, that's good.
JD,
yeah, we're fine.
JD did all the figuring here.
Look at this.
That's going to be so nice.
All right.
I think.
That up there. Multi-plus right there.
Yep.
I gotta scoot this back just a little bit. Once we secure it to the wall.
Sure.
Or the frame, that should pull it back like whatever, quarter inch.
Sounds good.
Deck screws. Let me get some deck screws.
We need some deck. We're building a deck, I guess.
That's gonna be beautiful.
All right. Here's this going in here. Hopefully this is starting to take a little bit more shape. Let's go a little wider. Boop, boop, boop. All right, batteries here. Hopefully they fit. Hopefully JD's measurements worked out. Bruce is up there getting rid of the cottonwood on the air conditioners, making all kinds of noise.
Making all kinds of noise.
Yeah.
Guess what I found? Our deck screws.
Why do we need deck screws?
Well, to go on this side, so we can tie the two boards together.
Oh, that makes sense.
Right on that edge, just a little bit more stability.
All right, so here's the back side here. We're
Nice and carpeted.
Mm-hmm. Looks factory.
Almost does.
Wow. That box there is where we put the connected the old inverter lines, the 30 amps together.
And we're gonna be hiding these things, aren't we?
Yeah, we're gonna take.
They're not gonna come up right there.
No, we're gonna take all those out. We don't need that.
Coming up here. Oh, just our.
Make that nice and smooth so we can put whatever we want in there. JD's just figuring out where we're gonna put that main fuse.
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking right over there. But this is kind of how it's gonna go. It's starting to take shape.
It's a nice fit in there too.
It is. It's almost perfect.
It's got some good airflow.
Yep.
It maximizes the space.
We're gonna have, yeah, and again, second EG4 battery in there, room for 3. It's gonna look great, especially when it's all lit up. Yeah. All right, we gotta get back to work. It's getting hotter by the minute. Well, it has been a long couple of days and we are still at it here. We're back into the evening shift. Bruce is finished up there. He's long since been gone home. JD's gone home to be with his family. So that means it's me. I'm gonna push it along a little bit further, and we should be wrapping up tomorrow morning sometime. I'll show you where we're at and what I got left to do. So we got a lot of stuff in here now. Still kind of crazy everywhere. But JD, last I heard, JD's thinking we're ready to put this battery in, so I think I'm gonna get on that. Actually, I think before I put that battery in, I think I'm gonna connect this up here, because that's gonna be a lot easier to do with without that battery here in my way. Well, evening is falling here. It's finally cooling down a little bit, so we got some work done in here. Check this out. We got the system on. Oh, come on, motion lights. There we go. Did some basic programming. Gonna do some more tomorrow, but we got the lights in there. Check that out. That's gonna be cool. I got the batteries on and powered up. Got to do some cable management and some other stuff. Still got to hook up the AC mains to the transfer switch output. But other than that, we're getting pretty close here. Big thing we got left to do is solar. We're going to take care of that tomorrow morning when JD's here. We're going to tag team that and hopefully get that done in short order. But I'm tired of sweating. Every year I end up sweating like this, and I forget how hot and miserable it is here in the Midwest sometimes. So I'm sure you down south are, saying, you're telling me or whatever. But we got cold blood up here, so we're making do, but we're having fun. I'll see you guys in the morning. Well, good morning, everybody. It's the last day. We are getting solar panels up. JD is hard at work behind that cover there. We're gonna go inspect what he's doing here in a minute. But thanks for sticking around. Looks like JD is fitting covers in.
Getting it all covered up and looking pretty.
That's always a fun part.
There we go.
Yep. And we're using those 3D printed push rivets in the Multi-Plus. Those work pretty good. We do have those files available for download on our website, and you can print them yourself.
They work awesome.
Well, that's good to hear.
Especially in tight spaces like this where...
That's the idea.
You might be able to get a screwdriver in there, but you'd be sitting there for 10 minutes doing a quarter turn at a time. Not that I've ever done that before.
Does not sound fun. Not one bit. And yeah, I've been working on the solar up there. I don't even know if we've talked about that much. We're doing 9 panels, 1,800 watts. I got 6 up there. They're not screwed down, but I am hooking them up. Got 3 more to go. So I'll get up there and kind of show you what's going on up there.
Man, stuff being this good? Like, look. Oh, you're recording. Oh. Oh, that's not awkward. It looks so good.
No, I thought that was good.
Battery in there.
Yeah. I got some ends, of course, 3D printed for the ends of that 2020 aluminum. I didn't know if we talked about that much. We're doing the 2020 aluminum for the rack support. And these batteries, it's pretty sturdy.
Sturdy, lightweight.
Looks good, JD. Well, here we are up on top. Got 6 panels here. Each of those in series, and 3 more in series here. And then left room for 3 more right here. So I think that'll work out really good for him. We're not doing these sets of 3 right now. He's gonna see how it goes. And maybe JD will take care of him down in Arizona. There he is.
Oh, yeah. Hey there.
Yeah, I think what we're gonna do next is zip tie all these together, because right now they're just all hooked up. I like to do that before I screw them down, because that way if there's any problems, I can fix it easily. You don't got to deal with all the die-core goop and all that. But that's what I'm doing next. Zip tying them all up and straightening them out, making it look good. And then JD and I will tag team this, because it's getting about 10:30 and it's already above, well into the mid 80s. And speaking of that, the hotter it gets, the less these perform. I hate to say it, which is one reason why I'm big on over paneling. You know, that last test we did on how much solar can you feed into a 50 amp charge controller, you know, it never hurts to go a little bit more solar. It's, for the most part, not going to do you wrong, even a lot more. So, for instance, we've got 1800 watts on here. It's about 10:30. I was seeing we're just under 1,000 watts collecting at the moment. We'll check in at solar noon, and we're only one day out of the solstice, so it should be about as good as we're going to get. And we will report back on what we get for watts coming in. It's a little bit of haze in the sky. It's not clear. We still got that Canadian wildfire stuff going on. The driver in doing it? Or are you worried about stripping it?
I'm worried about snapping the screw. That's a really beefy screw though.
For folks that are wondering, especially on these higher end Class A's, do we got to worry about these panels coming off? Well, when we attach it to the ends here, we're finding we're hitting framing that's structural enough that we got to actually pre-drill. Even our self-tapping metal roofing screws don't work. Maybe we need to get a little bit of a bigger pre-drill hole. We'll see.
Let's see what this one does. That one was tough too. Oh, that ain't going nowhere.
Oh, I said like a true dad. Oh, we got to take a break from that. That's some good work there.
Oh yeah, that's just.
We only got a lot more to go. All right.
It's gonna be beautiful though.
Let's get a bigger drill.
Yeah, just a scotch bigger.
The output of this goes to the Multiplus, and then from the Multiplus we spliced that back into what used to be the output of this. So we just put the Multiplus in between. We ran that AC line in a conduit there to kind of match everything else, keep it nice and protected. So there we go. Now we just got to put the cover on this and we're good to go to give it a final test. Okay. This is pretty crazy. We didn't mean to do this, but with soft starts, we're actually running 2, maybe 3 air conditioners from a single Multiplus. That's pretty crazy. 24 volt system. As part of our typical final testing, we're testing the alternator charging, and this is what that looks like when you have DC power enabled. It's going to be a negative value coming out of there because currently the Orion does not have VE direct connectivity, only Bluetooth, although Victron says they are coming out with something, so we'll see how that goes. But every little bit helps. Well, here we are. It's all done. Just giving a final once over on everything, and I thought I would take you along. Got a couple surprises on this one that we have not done before, so I look forward to sharing that with you. So let's get right down to it. Let's start with the bay where we've been doing the majority of our work here. Let's get that light on. There we go. We've got of course the 3000 Multiplus, the Orion working. We'll test that here in a bit. We do like to load test everything. Everything else is all working. So again, this is a 24 volt system, so 24 volt Multiplus. We got the step down converter here. We really like this one. It pushes out 70 amps to the battery bank. The 12 volt battery bank rather. Which, yes, we did keep the not all of the 12 volt batteries, but we kept 2 of the 6. We thought that would be good just to, well, for a number of reasons. We'll get into that here in a little bit. But the other thing that's a little bit interesting, obviously the links here, got our LED cable in there, so the LED's lit up on all the fuses. We do have a little fuse here or not fuse, a breaker. That's for the output of that converter there. The reason why we're doing that is because we need to protect that wire from here to there, and there's a fuse on the other end. And then obviously these 2 Life Power 4 24 volt batteries. You see we do have the communication cables hooked up, including the USB communication cable. I still looks like I gotta secure that a little bit. Reason why we did that is we have that actually hooked up to the serbo, and we are pulling data from this. We had to do a little bit of out of the box work to make that work. The new EG4 batteries, the LL ones, will communicate natively with the serbo. These ones will not, but they are. So let's figure out how that works. Then we got the main fuse there, of course, and plenty of room back there. So remember, oh, and then this is what this area looks like here. Everything's gone out of here. I got some spray foam in that hole. I'm just kind of waiting for that to harden up, and then I'm gonna cut it off the top and maybe put a little piece of carpet over that. We got the old inverter lines put in a box and just wire nutted together in there. So that's how we handle those connections. Those are 30 amp lines from there. This here is the line from the, I gotta secure that down here too, I guess. That's the line from the alternator. Then, oh, he's got all this stuff in his bay there, but underneath there is a tray for 6 Group 31 batteries for the house. And we kept 2 in there. The reason why we did that is this particular coach has like a boost feature where if the chassis batteries go dead, let's go take a look at those for a moment. If those go dead, you can use the house batteries to start your engine, which is totally a useful feature. And so since the house batteries are not lithium and we're not running the lithium off of the house battery, you know, they're not mixed at all, we didn't see any reason to take them all out. The customer wanted to take some out for weight purposes, so we kept 2 in here to match these 2. These are the chassis batteries. And then here we got a little breaker for the alternator charging line. And it only charges at 30 amps, so we're using 6 gauge wire, and that's fused or breakered at 60 amps. You know, all within spec, not a problem. Here's all the breakers and all that kind of stuff. Really like the way these coaches are done. Have we got anything in here? Well, this is all buttoned up. The work we did in here, you can't even really tell we did much. So let's go inside quick, and then we'll do the solar up top and take a look at some of the changes we did with the serbo. All right, so here we are at the serbo. Now, we've done a couple of things on here. Obviously, we're making some good power here. There's a couple of things you're probably going to notice right away that's different than stock. So what we've done is we've installed something called GUI mods, which is an open source package to enhance the Venus OS. And that's really possible because Victron open sources the entire Venus OS itself. You do have to be somewhat technically savvy to do this. It is possible probably for even a novice if you can follow directions and, you know, can do your own research and stuff. Typically, this has not been something we have offered to our customers a whole lot before, but I've been thinking about it more and more, and this one, after talking with the gentleman, we decided to let's give it a go, in part because of the serial battery, or the EG4 batteries. You can see where I got confused with the serial there. Anyway, a couple of changes that GUI mods does that you get 12-hour time, which is nice for those of us that don't live on a 24-hour clock. You also get a little more information in the AC load side. You get this nice little battery temperature monitor there, as well as you see that EG4 Life Power battery there. So let's go into that first.
I do want to note that the serial battery driver is separate from GUI mods, and it is an additional package that needs to be downloaded.
Okay, well now we see that battery is actually in here and we're getting data from it. We get all kinds of good data. If we go in the cell voltages area here, that's even pretty cool too. We can see the cell voltages of all of the batteries. How cool is that? Or all the cells in the battery. Now, currently, a limitation of this is we're only actually getting one of the batteries. If this customer wants to measure both of the batteries, he's going to have to get a second USB adapter and likely have to do a USB hub to connect them all, because we're using all the other USB ports at the moment. There are a number of other changes on here with GUI mods. Probably my favorite is this right here. You see these little tiles that go away after a moment. What those do is it lets you just touch, and here's what you can do. You can do the AC input control right here. Just go like boom, set it to 20, set it to 10, and accept new. And that's it. Typically, without GUI mods, here's what you gotta do. You gotta go here, menu, multi-plus, input current, tap it again, and then you can adjust it, you know, wherever you want it. Right? It's kind of a pain in the butt. There's a bunch of other stuff too. You can tap here, and you can quickly jump between your inverter modes, that sort of stuff. What do we get here? I don't mess with that one a whole lot. Yeah, you get your detail on your input power, all kinds of stuff. If you have multiple solar controllers, it'll actually output what they're all doing. Like on my system, in our bus, we have 3 solar controllers, so it shows them all. It's just a lot more informative system, to be honest. But really like it. It's not something that like we can officially support. So we can install it for somebody, but beyond that, it's really difficult to then troubleshoot it, and it might potentially cause additional, kind of open up an entire can of worms that is just kind of outside of what we can normally do as a Victron dealer. So if that's something you want, we can totally do it for you. But our support abilities is somewhat limited. Of course, we will do the best we can, but it's kind of this gray area. All right, so here's how the roof turned out. We got 1800 watts up here, and this strip right here is ready to go for another 3 more, if and when customer decides. I can see him definitely wanting to do that if he's spending time in Arizona, wants to run an air conditioner during the day off of AC. He can kind of do one right now, but you can't put much battery into power into the battery while you're running the AC, and that's the issue. And again, that's why I'm doing this crazy thing here. I'm trying to do both. Been having so much fun with the customer, I forgot to close out the video. From all of us here at Soda Solar, JD, myself, Levi sometimes, and all of our customers who we continue to work with, thank you, and thanks for watching. And if you need solar on anything you need, or anything you have rather, check us out at our website, sodasolar.com. Send us an email, a text, by whatever means you feel appropriate. Contact us. We'd love to help you. Thanks for watching. Bye.